What's up, everyone? Day number 52 on the speedrun to 2500's Bird Speedrun. Let's get things going. 2056. It's time to go. Playing F4. I'm going to try to get up to 2080, 2090, maybe even 2100 if possible. Okay, we're starting to see a lot more Sicilians. Playing E3. Going to get the bishop out to B5. Yeah, this is a surprisingly poisonous system. People are not really aware of how strong and potent the system is. But the idea is that we've given them a structure similar to that of the Rosalimo, similar to a Rosalimo Sicilian. And the drawback is that we've burnt a move on E4, but the huge benefit is that we've been able to get a pawn to F4 here. And that makes a hell of a difference. I'm going to have to check the move order here. Maybe I messed up the move order. Maybe I was supposed to play D3 and E4 first. To be clear, this is definitely still fine, but I'm wondering if I messed up at all. Let's put the knight on C3 here. Knight is going to go to A4. Target the C5 pawn. These structures are honestly a bit strange. I haven't been able to really memorize them in great detail. You know, I've just been working on so many other things. I'm a busy bee. But yeah, things are getting moving. I am super excited for the future. This king pawn repertoire. I found some jewels of ideas in this for this king pawn repertoire. Let's play bishop A3 here. Big tricks. Big tricks coming up. Knight D7, D4. This is going to hang here. I'll play H3 soon enough, though, to... Oh, he could play Queen E6 here. He could play Queen E6. I didn't realize that. I completely forgot about that. Queen E6 is going to be very annoying. Yeah, Queen E6 is super annoying. Let's play Queen D2. It should still be fine for me. Like, to be clear, don't worry. It should still be fine for me. Now, should we take this way and allow the bishop to trade? Yeah, we definitely want to get the dark squared bishop here. Their dark squared bishop is very good. This bishop, on the other hand, we're going to be able to hassle around the board. Another problem as well would have been if e takes, he could take and then play queen e4 and have enormous pressure on this d4 pawn, which we don't want to allow. So takes. I'll take back this way. I would assume white is still better here. It's tricky, though. Rook e1 is coming with a vengeance. Queen f6, rook e1 has to play rook e8. Definitely not a move you want to ever have to make. Rook e8 will play h3, bishop f5, g4, bishop e4, and knight c3. Digging in. Digging in and balling out. Bishop e6, can we play f5 here? f5 is a really cool idea, isn't it? I think I'm sort of convincing myself of it as I speak, but I mean, like, the point is, f5 is a very interesting move. The idea is if bishop takes, we play g4. If g takes, he's just completely stuck. And we have a lot of open diagonals then for the pieces. But is it the best move, though? What is the plan after f5? I guess, yeah, let's play f5. This is going to be very interesting. This is going to be unbelievably interesting. I mean, the idea... Okay, well, that's a blunder. That's a big blunder. Is he playing queen h4 here? He's trying to sneak in. He's trying to sneak in and ball out. But if he plays queen h4, takes queen g3, I just play queen g2. Man is dropping pieces. Man's dropping straight pieces here. All right, up a piece. Yeah, this should just be completely over. Here, what to do, we could take. Takes queen g3, that doesn't really do anything. Oh, yeah, what is the best way to handle this? I guess queen f4, I like queen f4 the most. Covering this. If he takes, I have rook e3 and rook g3, and that should mark the end of the game. Okay, that's interesting, but, what's going on here? I'm just gonna take. It's time to take. We're taking. F takes, I take with the bishop. Yeah, this is just a disaster. Queen f7 is coming. Rook e7 would have also been good. Why didn't I play rook e7? Knight is completely dislodged here. Very uncomfortable decision to make. I think he has to play queen g4, but takes. That endgame is obviously losing. He's just down a piece there. It's time to go.
Time to go!
It's really time to go. Knight h5. Okay, we're just going to take the check. This is cool. We can just keep checking. I do need to watch out for this check, though. I gotta be a little careful. Let's start with a check. King h8, we can pick up more material. Here we'll play queen f4. Now my queen is covering these two checks. I wanted to go here before continuing. So he plays king h7. Maybe, I guess here, do we have anything else? Takes, queen f7, king h6, takes, check. Yeah, he's going to have perpetual there. All right, he's going to have perpetual in that position, so what should we do instead? Let's just bring the knight into the game. As long as queen covers these squares, he has no checks. Rook f8, that's a big mistake, though. It's a big mistake, but I can't immediately put my finger on why. Okay, we could definitely play queen h2. Queen h2 would be more than enough. Rook e7 is another idea. If king h8, we take with mate, but rook e7, the issue is king g6. Rook e7, king g6, okay, and then rook f7. Everything is okay. Yeah, he has nothing there. If he takes, I take with the queen. That gets a little tricky, but it should be completely winning, though. Is there anything simpler, though? Am I missing something? Is there anything much simpler here? Could I check? Check, king g8, knight e6. That looks good, but then he plays queen g4. He starts checking there. I could also play rook e3. Rook e3 looks the best, actually, because rook e3, if he takes, I just take with the queen. He has no checks. No checks. Rook takes f4, I take this way with check. Rook e3, if he plays queen f5, I can then play something like queen c7 check, and I'm going to pick up the queen. All right, let's just go with that. Rook e3. Should be the end of the game. I think he has to take, and we could just take back. No more tricks. Say no to sneaky tricks. Man, my life is going so fast, honestly. Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to Miami in a few days, pretty much. And it marks a year since I came to Paraguay, pretty much. Yeah, it's essentially a year since I went to Paraguay. I went to Paraguay September 19th, 2023. And yeah, today for reference, today is September 17th, 2024. I know this video is going to be released probably in like November or something, but um yeah, just so much has happened. Like that is one of like the big things. I really been recommending my friends to like start working hard and hustling, because the thing is like you feel exhausted, but then, you know, a year passes and you've gotten so much done. You've just gotten so much done. There was tons of things that I haven't been able to get to yet, but overall, over this year, I did an enormous amount of stuff. Like pretty much there have been 200 videos made on the YouTube. The entire bird course was made while I was in Paraguay. Um, just tons of things. Also, just figuring out the business, understanding how it is to work with employees. All right, what are we doing here? Let's start with a check. He's still threatening these two checks over here. All right, we'll play rook g7 is a cheeky move, isn't it? Takes knight e6 and then knight f8. Yeah, that looks way simpler, actually. That's a very sneaky idea. Because the idea is there, my knight is actually covering a lot of important squares on f8. All right, well, that's a really big mistake. Oh, he's a sneaky guy. Okay, well, actually, if I take here, he doesn't have perpetual. His queen is not on g3. I have king f2 here. Very importantly, I have king f2. He's not going to have... Does he have perpetual? Okay, so this is interesting. King f3, king e2, I think he does have perpetual. Because king d2, I can't hide here because he's going to have check. But we could play king f3, queen c3, king g4, queen d4, and then something like queen f4. Yeah, that should be enough. All right. I don't think he has a draw here. He's definitely going to have to let me... Okay, yeah, my queen is coming back. This has to be winning. Let's play king h2, just get the king really far out of the way. He has one more check, and then I play rook f2. Checks are coming to an end. King h4 would have also done the job. Why didn't I play king h4? I guess he plays g5, but... Anyway, yeah, this is over. It's time to go. His king is not going to survive against my queen mark here. We're getting the win. We're getting the W. All right, let's start with a check. Getting another check. I like rook g2 a lot. Yeah, rook g2 just ends it. Okay, even without that, even if he just played king h5, I think still rook g2 would have been fantastic. All right, where's the win here? Queen d8 is a cheeky win. So the idea is if his king goes back, then this is mate. If g5, then this is mate. Oh, I actually have two checkmates, but this one is nicer. All right. 2063. We're making it up there. Let's go. Let's get it done. f4. d5. Okay, knight f3. All right. Starting to, yeah, we're rarely ever getting a completely winning position out of the opening now because people are starting to get well versed in what to do. But even so, I still think it's a fantastic surprise weapon, though, to be clear. I'm not, even at like the level of 2000, your opponents might not be gifting you entire games, but it's still going to be very uncomfortable for them. So here we take and play d4. This isn't my course. You play knight c3 here. Knight c3, queen b3. Very uncomfortable for them. Let's play bishop d2. I definitely could have put the bishop on d3. b6, that's not going to be good. Bishop, if the bishop goes to b7, we have a fantastic stone wall. Oh, that's what he's after. I didn't realize that. I shouldn't have wasted a move. I just wasted a move on d3 for nothing. All right, we'll castle here. This should still be fine for us, though. I think he has several weaknesses over on the light squares. Yeah, I'm wondering, back in this position, his idea is bishop a6, so what should my move be then? I could try bishop b5 and then a4. All right, anyway, he played rook c8, so the whole point is move. But queen a4, yeah, he is in a lot of trouble here. Knight c7, I could start by taking a pawn. That looks good, but knight e5 might be even better. Knight e5, I'm starting to dig into c6, but knight c7, I don't know, knight e5, queen d6, is that so easy? Takes on a7, queen d6. Takes queen d6. Actually, I just moved my queen out. I'm doing fantastic there. I'm a greedy boy. Queen a4, we get the pawn out. Knight is also looking really silly on c7. Knight is not where it wants to be. Knight wants to be on d6 to eye the c4 and e4 squares. Let's play queen b3 here. Man, I'm starving. I'm so hungry. Yeah, I think after this recording, I'm gonna go grab a burger. There's this place I really like to go called Ministro Burger here. They got great burgers. Got great burgers and great fries. What is he trying to do? What is he on about? I could drill a knight into c5, but I feel it's better to drill this knight into c5, so we should go this way. This looks good, but the knight on c1 is not going to be good, so let's instead find a better path. Let's go knight d1, knight f2. Yeah, that looks much better. Knight d1, also I'm preparing bishop b4, but mainly I'm trying to get knight f2, knight d3, knight c5. Also from f2, we're stopping the knight from getting to e4. Lots of good things. Lots of good is coming out of this. Really classic maneuver you want to remember. Knight d1 to f2. Classic maneuver. Very interesting stuff. It's really classic for the bird, though. Yeah, okay, so he has a bit of pressure on this a pawn, but his b pawn is also weak. I mean, we have a classic idea here. Rook c1, rook c6. Knight is superb on e5 here. That just blunders. I'm taking a pawn. I'm taking a pawn. It's time to go. We're just going to move the queen out of the way. Knight f7. Knight f7 is happening, sir. It's time to go. He could play queen d5. Oh, well, that doesn't work. Come on. Come on. Let's get a resignation. Give yourselves a round of applause, people. We did it. 2070. 2070 with the bird. Up until now, I've only lost one game, and that was, or no, technically I've lost 3 games, but one of them was to the guy who got his account banned for being a cheater. Another one was to a guy that I highly suspect was cheating. Chess.com didn't catch him, but, you know, suffice to say, it's time to go. All right, e4, e5. Yeah, up until now, I've been getting mostly d4 positions as black. I am so hungry. I'm going to rip it. I'm going to devour this Ministro burger. I'm playing a guy from Cuba, so the internet is going to be pretty bad. Bishop c4. Let's play knight f6. I really want to go for the Traxler. Should we go for the Traxler? I would love to go for the Traxler, but is it good? Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Let's see what happens. 2100. maybe it's too much already. I have not studied the Traxler at all, but it's a very interesting system. I definitely want to like at some point make a course on it. It's very interesting stuff. Yeah, takes is the best move. Bishop d5. Bishop d5 is not supposed to be best. From what I remember, it's bishop c4, bishop e3. Let's play. Okay, so knight wants to come to f7. We'll play queen e8 here. Queen is heading out to g6. Why is this called the bishop sacrifice line? He didn't sacrifice a bishop. Sir, I'm looking at the board and I don't see a bishop sacrifice. So what is Sir talking about? Let's play rook f8 here. Got to avoid any bishop f7 stuff in the future. I could have also played queen g6. Why didn't I play queen g6? Anyway, you want to be a little careful here. From what I remember, I haven't played these positions much. But pretty much you need to be careful about pushing this knight back. Like if you push h6, they're just going to play knight f3, and actually you've made their life easier because then they can quickly play d4. So it's much better just to prepare queen g6 in a proper way. I don't think this is that easy for them now. Now this is actually quite tricky. Knight f3, we have bishop h3. Here we'll play knight d4. This is a whole can of worms. I don't know what's happening here. The only thing I do know is that I'm about to devour a burger at Ministro Burger. Ministro Burger and Grill. Official sponsor of the GM Raven chess channel. All right, here let's play h3 or h6. Yeah, I think he's in a lot of trouble now. I think he was straight tripping out there. Knight f3 takes. Oh, that's so close to working. Bishop f7. Well, he's just panicking though. Man is panicking. Let's take on h3 first. Actually, just threaten the mate. Dude could try knight g5. Lord Jean. Lord Jean. Lord Jeanum. Lord Jeanum could definitely try doing knight g5, but then I'll just move my bishop back. This has to be resignable here. I could already take this piece whenever I want, but yeah, what is the best way to handle this? Bishop g4, f3, that's what I don't like. Then okay, what if I move my bishop back though there? No, come on, that has to be completely over. Yeah, bishop g4. Of course I could take here, I could have also taken there, but this looks like the really killer combination. If f3, I take, rook takes, bishop takes, king g2, and I'm thinking queen h5 there to threaten mate on h3. Really wild stuff. f3 takes, yeah, can't do anything else, has to take with the rook. I take, he's pinned, so he has to play king g2, and then queen h5. Everything is pinned there, and queen h3 will be mate next. That should be the end of the game. And it's time to go.
FTV Claude, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked.
It's time to go!
2070? Rating is really jumping up. Rating is continuing on the way up. Yeah, and then the third game I lost was this game that I started recording for the speedrun, but that was weirdly enough, that was at the beginning. I thought it was just due to exhaustion from working so hard. That was the beginning of the cold. That was the beginning of the Rona. Yeah, the two games I lost recently were while I was starting to have Rona. Or Rona or a cold, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oh, why did I play queen h5 first? I just made a mistake. I got bamboozled. I forgot about which move was which. I should have taken on e3 first. Why did I not take on e3 first? All right, fortunately for me, I think I'm still completely winning, but yeah, I was too busy thinking about the Rona. Takes, I should have just taken here. Why did I not take here? That was my plan. Chess.com, I don't have a take back. Can I get a take back? All right, no take back, but luckily for me, I am still completely winning. Very simple threat here. Check, king f2, and mate. I guess he was going to throw in a check, but it's like this is just the end of the game no matter what. Queen f1 is probably his best try here. The idea of queen f1 is that then a queen h1, king f2, knight g4, his king can run around. That's not going to be enough. His king doesn't have e1 here. All right, time to go. All right, nice. So 2079. How much time are we at? 103. Interesting. Playing Igor Margulis. Nice. Margulis, back in the day, there was a really nice gentleman from Russia named Yevgeny Margulis who came to my chess club at the Marshall. I would assume he's probably dead now because this was like 15 years ago. He was like already at the time he was like 55 years old. Very nice guy, very well-mannered guy. I remember it well. It was so funny. He would play people and he had this fantastic Soviet understanding. the superior Soviet understanding. And yeah, he would play people, and yeah, sometimes he would get bored with the games, and so he'd just start reading a book, like over the board. It was literally the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing. You would see someone, like, you would look at one side of the board and it's someone like really fiercely concentrated, and then you would turn to him and he's just reading a book. Not a chess book or anything, just some Russian novel. Some Dostoevsky or Tolstoy in Cyrillic with like a Cyrillic cover and everything. Awesome guy. I really, if he's still alive and if he sees this channel, please drop a comment, man. Margulies, you are a classic. You are a legend at the Marshall Chess Club. Man was awesome. I really, really like that guy. You know, I don't talk about it much, but my childhood, I would just go to the Marshall Chess Club and spend like literally 12 hours a day there. And yeah, very, very interesting guy. Very fun, very friendly. And yeah, he taught me a lot about chess as well. Just whenever we play a game, he was there. It's interesting. He was there between when I was between the ages of 14, like 17 or 18. So essentially what happened was that when he started coming to the Marshall, I was much worse than him at chess. And so I would lose games to him consistently, but he'd frequently show pointers, um, and give me good tips of advice. And then as I got older, I started beating him regularly. Yeah, the game that I made National Master was the game that I beat him. That was a really cool experience. He was always around 2100, 2000, 2200 level. Very strong player. Very nice guy. I really hope he's doing well. I don't know what happened to him at all. He's one of these characters that like has no semblance of social media, and so for all we know, he could just be living in the outskirts of Queens, and no one has any ideas. And he comes in. He'll just come into the Marshall Chess Club 10 years later, acting as if nothing had happened. Very funny guy though. Okay, what are we doing here? We could definitely play c5 and have equality. The whole idea is I have a slightly ugly structure, but I'm way ahead in development now at this point. Bishop e7 actually makes the most sense. Yeah, let's play bishop e7, trade off the bishops. A good rule of thumb is that if they built their entire kingside structure around the fianchetto, trading the bishops is going to be very good. They're going to have a lot of light score weaknesses. I've seen positions here where you get this trade-off and you even drop this entire pawn and you're still fine, according to the computer, because you just have so much compensation according to their light score weaknesses. So very interesting position here. Very cool position. Lots of tricks and lots of traps. I think I'll be ending this this episode of the speedrun after this game. I'm wondering. I'm trying to calculate the odds of seeing this guy Margulies at Ministro Burger. It's probably 1 in a trillion. Yeah, the guy was like 55 years old 15 years ago, and just you know, guys, based on statistics, I hate to break the bad news to you guys, but like literally every single year you get older, the chances of you dying increases. Um, and he was not the healthiest of 55-year-olds. Yeah, I hope, dude, if he ends up watching this video, let me know, because yeah, Margulies was a really awesome guy. Yevgeny Margulies, really cool Soviet guy. I'm gonna try to find a photo of him online somewhere. There must be some photo of him online. And yeah, he was a very good influence on the club. He helped a lot of the like he just pretty much gave free lessons to juniors. He would just like help kids understand what they were doing wrong in their games. A really well-meaning individual. I don't think he ever had a family. All right, what's up? Yeah, I just had a break in the camera because the camera ran out of memory. So I had to just clear it out. But anyway, so yeah, Margulies, great guy. Um, definitely friend of the show. And yeah, hopefully in the future, I would assume he just moved back to Moscow, honestly. I don't know what happened with him. Yeah, the chess club is a very interesting place. It turns into a sort of family. Because people just, you know, there's so much emotion. There's so much emotion that goes into the chess game. Friendships are broken. Friendships are remedied and remended. And, yeah, if you've ever been part of a chess club, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very interesting type of, like, ecosystem, so to speak. You develop great friendships. You develop great bonds. You develop enemies. There's an entire type of hierarchy that becomes established, and as soon as that hierarchy gets upset, uh, the ecosystem suffers ripple effects. It suffers disruptions. Yeah, eventually, like I would love to I would love to like write a novel or make a movie about chess clubs, like just some type of fictional story because they're very interesting. Like I grew up in one, so all these very strange, abnormal things just became very normal and just very accepted and very just seemed to be standard practice more or less. But in reality, I think it would be very interesting to outsiders to see how chess clubs function. Because yeah, just they're very strange. They're very strange, and don't get me wrong, I love them. I feel at home in them because I grew up in them. But like compared to the outside world, just chess clubs are so interesting. Like there's fighting, there's bickering. They're like it's just a tiny little microcosm of the world, pretty much. Like there's just it's very interesting. And I think up until now, the thing is that there's no real I don't think chess movies have really done it justice, like the amount of unusual and interesting and it's just such an interesting universe, a chess club. Like you get these people who just have spent their entire lives on chess. And don't get me wrong, I'm one of them. I'm not judging. You want to spend your life on chess? Go ahead. Like you're not going to find anyone who empathizes more with you than I. But just like to the outside of observer, it's just so foreign to what like a normal person, like the average Joe's normal life is. Like you go to the chess club, you play a 3 hour game where you're just playing a board game for 3 hours, and then afterwards you analyze it for 2 hours in the back room with some guys who grew up in the Soviet Union. It's deeply bizarre and eccentric, but in a good way though, to be clear. And I don't think that until now chess movies have done the culture that I'm describing any amount of justice. Let's play knight d5 here. Well, knight d5, he plays knight e4. Let's get the bishop out of the way. Put the bishop. Should we put the bishop on b4? Bishop on b4 e7. Maybe let's just play rook c8 for now. I'll figure the rest out later. This pawn is very strong though. Black is significantly better here. Technically I have more pawn islands than he does, but he has an uglier. His pieces are obviously uglier. This pawn is really, really backward. Yeah, the thing I didn't like, I was starting to read Queen's Gambit, the novel. I was starting to read it in Portuguese. My friend had gotten it for me in Portuguese, and so I'm reading. I never saw Queen's Gambit, but I'm starting to read the novel in Portuguese, and it's a good story and all. It's interesting, but the story starts out. She's just like a genius, and she quickly starts beating everyone. And like, there's not. That's not how the chess world really works. What really happens in the chess world is that you enter a chess club, you fit yourself into a relatively static hierarchy, and if you fight tooth and nail, you'll eventually upset that hierarchy and slowly climb the ladder. It's not going to be as happened in Queen's Gambit where you just start beating everyone and you start winning effortlessly and you memorize entire chess books effortlessly. Um, Granted, even if you have a lot of talent, it's not going to be that easy. All right, rook d1. Let's play h6. Just improve the position slightly. No longer any back rank mate issues. Yeah, like I'm thinking about it literally my entire life up until like 17 years old. Like okay, I had a few friends outside of chess, but yeah, with the exception, I think I might have hung out with like other friends apart from the chess club maybe like 3 or 4 times in my entire high school. Meanwhile, yeah, like my entire life up until 17 years old, 18 years old was just spent at the chess club. Yeah, it was so interesting. Yeah, it's I know I'm not really being articulate now, but it's just at some point someone needs to make a novel about like just the amount of politicking and the amount of like the tiny little microcosm that is a chess club because it's mind-blowing how immersed people get in this tiny little world. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I spent most of my life on chess. Up until now I probably spent 90% of my life on chess. All right, we could play rook b3 now. Attack this knight. I have threats of bishop a3. So an interesting line would be knight e4 takes. No, I don't want to take. Sorry, knight e4. I'll play queen f5. He takes. I take with the bishop. He takes. I take, and I have fantastic pressure on b2 there. I should be significantly better because especially once if b2 ever drops, then this pawn runs very fast. It's time to go.
Time to go.
Dogs are probably angry that they're not coming with me to Minstrel Burger, the finest burger establishment in town. Okay, what's up with that? If I take, takes, that's good. What is his idea? Takes, he's going to take here. He's going to take there. That's interesting stuff. Can I play queen b6 here? Yeah, queen b6 is good. Look at that. It covers b3, hits d4. Now I have a new threat. I'm threatening takes, takes, and then takes, and these two things are hanging. If he plays bishop e3, I think I can take on a3 because takes on c4, unleashes on my queen, but then I have queen b7 check. The nice jibber jabber jump shot. The jibber jabber jump shot.
But it's not like that anymore. All they want to do is the fadeaway, crossover, jibby jabber jump shots.
The old jibber jabber jump shot. All right. If I take on a3, takes. That looks winning. That looks completely winning. Am I missing anything there? No, I think that works. Now takes. This is rook threatening any other discovery. If he goes here, I take. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's go for it. Let's take here. It's time to go. Wild tactic. He's definitely going to report me for cheating because this is a very hard tactic to find. For GM, it's not that hard to find. You know, like I am a GM. These tactics are easy. But suffice to say, if your opponent is unleashing this melee of tactics, you should be a little suspicious. Takes. If his queen takes, I take the rook. Yo, I'm starving. I'm so hungry. Yeah, you know the interesting thing is like I remember like the past couple weeks, maybe not this week, but the past weeks before this, I've been feeling a little depressed, and just the more and more I think about it, the more and more I reflect, it's just so essential. It's so essential to have work you enjoy. You can't just be relaxing. If you're just chilling, sipping pina coladas on the beach, you're gonna start to get really sick of that and get really bored. But at the same time, if it's work that you're not invested in, if it's work that you're not passionate about, that also gets just really tiresome after a while. But like right now, where I'm at, I finally found a lot of lines for this bird course, not this bird course, this King Pawn repertoire, that are just spellbindingly interesting. Spellbindingly interesting, I say. And I'm realizing now this doesn't even work. What have I done here? He takes here. I don't have any trick here. I thought I had a trick in this position, but I don't. So what am I doing here? I could play queen e4, takes and then takes here. That doesn't really do anything, though. His rook goes to a4. I haven't really accomplished anything with that one. All right, I'm gonna try to flag him, honestly. That's what this is gonna be about. The guy has put up a very good defense up until now. Let's take, play knight d5, attack the bishop. Definitely still equal, completely equal. I think I had an advantage there, but I slipped up. But he's gonna face the wrath of the Birdmaster. He's just not gonna be able to maintain this. Things are already a little uncomfortable here. My knight is definitely better than the bishop. Bishop does not have an anchor. Bishop is very unstable here. It does not have a healthy place to sit itself where a pawn would defend it. I guess he wants to play e4 in this position. So we should think about f5, but f5 is a bit dubious, right? Because then the bishop is going to be... I think f5 is fine, but it's... No, f5 he plays bishop e3. How are we going to do this? How are we going to handle this? Let's play queen b6. Just continuing to make threats. I just got to keep making threats. Let's play queen b7 now. e4, I play knight f6. He plays f3, I play knight d7. Continuing to play quickly. I need to, I definitely have to erect concrete here. f6, we're going to play e5 next. Bishop has yet to find itself an anchor. Let's play e5. All right, that is fine. Get the king out. Man does not have any checks yet. Queen e7. All right, already I could play a5. Takes, check. That's going to be very interesting. I can't be worse there. Queen c6 is simpler. He's going to have to pay the piper. The piper is getting paid, buddy. You can't avoid the piper forever. I want to get the knight into f4, so I'm thinking even of just playing a5 here. Let's play check and let's start making threats this way. Queen d1, queen g1 is coming. No, that can't be good. I think he's getting mated now. Yeah, he is getting mated. Check, check, and mate. Nice. That was a close game. Margulies almost got me there. 2087. All right, so end of day number 52. We're on 2087.